تجده تجاهك. Be mindful of Allah. Keep Allah in your mind, in your dealings with people, in your relationship with your family, your children, your wife, your husband. Whatever you do, however you treat them, know that is ever watching you. Why did he say, يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. This is the ayah of marriage. This is the ayah of husband and wife. This is the ayah in which Allah reminds us how we were created when we came from Adam and Eve, the first marriage, and He made many men and many women from them. And then Allah Ta'ala says, do not cut the relations of brotherhood. Fear Allah in the name of whom you ask your mutual rights. Husband and wife, they're asking mutual rights. It is my right that you do this for me. It is your right that I do this for you. Who gave you those rights? Allah. Then he ends the ayah by saying, fear Allah in the name of whom you ask your mutual rights. Verily, Allah is ever watching over you. So be mindful of Allah. احفظ تجده تجاهك. If you're mindful of Allah, if you fear Allah in your actions, your relationship with people, then whenever you need Allah, Allah will be there for you. Whenever you need Allah, Allah will be there for you. احفظ الله يحفظك. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. Then he adds, وَإِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ. وَإِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ فَاسْتَعِنْ بِاللَّهِ. When you ask, when you beg, when you need something in your life, ask Allah. Allah is Ar-Razzaq. He is Al-Wahhab. He is the giver. He is the provider. Everything that we have coming from the heavens to the earth indeed is coming from none but Allah. So why should you ask anybody besides Allah? إِذَا سَأَلْتَ فَاسْأَلِ اللَّهِ وَإِذَا اسْتَعَنْتَ. When you seek help, when you need help, you are in a situation of desperation, don't ask anybody but Allah. We say it every single day in the Fatiha, إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. You are the only one that we worship. You say that, I say that. You are the only one that we worship. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. And you are the only one from whom we seek help. We don't need help from anyone except Allah. And if anyone presents himself to be a helper, it is by the permission of Allah. Ibrahim alayhi salam, when the tribe, the nation decided to throw him in the fire, when they put him in the caterpillar, ready to throw him into the fire, it was so hot, so huge, they could not come near the fire. They had to build a material called a caterpillar, put him in it to throw him inside like a rocket to land in the fire. At that moment, at that very moment, ask yourself, what would you say? What would you do in those times? Jibreel alayhi salam, the leader of the angels, Ar-Ruh, he came down to Ibrahim alayhi salam and said, do you need me to help you right now? Can I help you with anything? He said, I do not need your help. I need help from Allah. I need help from Allah. وَقُلْنَا يَا نَارِ كُونِي بَرْدًا وَسَلَامًا عَلَى إِبْرَاهِيمَ. It is Allah who created the fire, right? It is Allah who created Ibrahim. It is Allah who created the enemies of Ibrahim alayhi salam. It is Allah who created Jibreel alayhi salam. Therefore, Hasbi Allah wa ni'mal wakeel. Hasbi Allahu wa ni'mal wakeel. I do not need anything from you but Allah. And Allah gave the order. Allah gave the command. He is the king. He is the master. He is Al-Jabbar. He is Al-Mutakabbir. He gave the order to the fire to be cool and peaceful to Ibrahim. احفظ الله يحفظك احفظ الله تجده تجاهك إذا سألت فاسأل الله وإذا استعنت فاستعن بالله. And he said واعلم أن الأمة لو اجتمعت على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك وإن اجتمعوا على أن يضروك بشيء لم يضروك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله عليك. No, be aware, young boy, be aware. And this young boy that he taught these lessons, he grew up with these lessons and taught us these lessons. He said to him, no, young man, be aware, young man, be conscious, Ya Ibn Abbas, be conscious of this, that if an entire nation, all nations in the world, all mankind, if they came together, if they brought their forces together, their knowledge together, their wealth together, their strengths together, if they brought everything they have together, وَاعْلَمْ أَنَّ الْأُمَّةَ لَوْ اجْتَمَعُوا عَلَى أَنْ يَنْفَعُوكَ بِشَيْءٍ لَمْ يَنْفَعُوكَ إِلَّا بِشَيْءٍ قَدْ كَتَبَ اللَّهُ لَكَ. Know that if the entire world, the entire nation, the entire human race, from the time of Adam until the last man who walks on this surface, if they all came together, if they had the intention, if they had the will, they had the determination to benefit you with anything, even if they said they're going to collect $1 and give it to you, even if they say they will come together and give you a sip of water, to give you one tamar, one date, wallahi, know that they will never be able to benefit you except by the permission of Allah. Unless it was written for you, unless Allah had written in your book of decree that day such and such, Fulan and Fulan, I have given them the order, I have given them the permission to benefit you. That is the only way they can benefit you. So benefit is not from you, my brother. Benefit is not from you, my sister. In reality, we all should know that there is nothing you can do for me, and there is nothing I can do for you. Only Allah can do for us. إِيَّاكَ نَعْبُدُ وَإِيَّاكَ نَسْتَعِينُ. But the flip side of the coin, he said, وَعْلَمْ, but also know. And I chose this khutbah, I chose this topic because of what just happened in the past 2 days. I'm sure you've heard of it. This innocent black Muslim who was put in prison for so many years and then executed wrongfully when all the evidences proved that he was not the one who committed the crime. When the entire nation, when I saw this, it reminded me of this hadith. The entire nation came together. I'm sure some of you even, they signed the petition sitting here. Every single city, every single state in this country, there were thousands of people who signed the petition to say he was innocent. Even DNA proved he was innocent. Just to show you the injustice in this country, how we cannot trust the legal system in this country. Everybody came together. Even the prosecutor, even the family of the victim said, do not execute him. Even the jurors said, do not execute him. Petition after petition. The nation came together as one, black and white, Muslims and non-Muslim. And this person was our brother. He was a Muslim. He was even the imam in the prison. But his last words, subhanallah, very last words, all praise is due to Allah, no matter what situation. All praise is due to Allah. Under every situation, we thank Allah. Under every situation, whatever Allah has decided is good for us. That is why the Prophet ﷺ used to say, عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلُّهُ خَيْرٌ. That he is dazzled, he is amazed, he is flabbergasted about the state of a believer. عَجَبًا, ajib. It is amazing. When you hear ajib from the hadith, he means it is amazing. It is not of this world. عَجَبًا لِأَمْرِ الْمُؤْمِنِ إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلُّهُ خَيْرٌ. That it is amazing, the affair of a believer. If you are a Muslim, your life is amazing. Why did he say that? Because he said, إِنَّ أَمْرَهُ كُلُّهُ خَيْرٌ. That his affair, everything that happens to him is good for him. Allahu Akbar. Imagine this brother. The whole nation came together to save him, signing petitions. But Allah Azza wa Jalla wanted him to die as a believer and go to Jannah. They have taken his sins if he had committed any. He died pure. He died with the kalima. When they injected him, he said, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. His last words. Any one of us would like to have such an ending with these words. So the whole nation came together to benefit him. Were they able to benefit him? Kalla wallah. Kalla. Even if the governor, the president, if everybody signed the petition and say save him, if Allah had decreed that was his last day on earth, he would leave this world. But again, if they come together, وَإِنِ اجْتَمَعُوا عَلَىٰ أَنْ يَضُرُّوكَ بِشَيْءٍ لَمْ يَضُرُّوكَ إِلَّا بِشَيْءٍ قَدْ كَتَبَهُ اللَّهُ عَلَيْكَ. But if the entire nation, man and jinn, even include the angels if you want, if they came together, brother, if they came together, sister, to harm you even with a speck of a needle, if they came together to harm you, if they came together to make you lose your job, lose your house, lose your wealth, lose your life, let them bring all the armies in the world, they could not hurt you even with a speck of a needle. They could not, because Allah is protecting you. Allah is protecting you. That is why he said, وَمَنْ يَتَّقِ اللَّهِ يَجْعَلْ لَهُ مَخْرَجًا وَيَرْزُقُهُ مِنْ حَيْثُ لَا يَحْتَسِبُ وَمَنْ يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. This is Ibrahim alayhi salam. This is the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam in the Sahaba in the battle of Uhud. When the kuffar and the munafiqun, when they gathered together, saying to each other, we are going back. إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَوْهُمْ فَزَادَهُمْ إِيمَانًا فَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. This was in the middle of the battle. Some of the Sahaba were running away. The Prophet ﷺ fell in a ditch. He was bleeding from head to toe. Some of the kuffar, they were elated, running and announcing the death of the Prophet ﷺ. The munafiqun came back. إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ. النَّاسِ كُلُّهُمْ جَمِيعًا. And they said to him, the people have gathered together. إِنَّ النَّاسَ قَدْ جَمَعُوا لَكُمْ فَاخْشَوْهُمْ. They have gathered together. They're coming back to find you in the ditch. They're going to finish you all together today. But when they said this to him and the Sahaba, Allah revealed the verse, فَزَادَتْهُمْ إِيمَانًا فَقَالُوا حَسْبُنَا اللَّهُ وَنِعْمَ الْوَكِيلُ. In that situation, Allah increased their faith and they said, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakeel. We put our trust in Allah. We depend on Allah. He is our protector. They thought he was over with. They thought he was done after the Battle of Uhud. But today, look at the example. Look at the victory of Islam after the Battle of Uhud until now. Subhanallah. So it is Allah who is in charge of our affairs. وَأُفَوِّدُ أَمْرِي إِلَى اللَّهِ. Leave your affairs in the hands of Allah. That is why when he sent Musa and Harun, when they went to Fir'aun, this tyrant, what did he say to them? He said to them, فَلَا تَخَافَا. Do not fear anything. إِنَّنِي مَعَكُمَا أَسْمَعُ وَأَرَى. Indeed, I am with you. Musa, Harun, I'm sending you to the worst tyrant in the world, who had the biggest army in the world at the time, Fir'aun. I'm sending you to him. But when you stand in front of him, do not fear anything. Do not worry. Know that I am with you. إِنَّنِي مَعَكُمَا أَسْمَعُ وَأَرَى. I hear everything and I see everything. Why should you fear? You always recite it. وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Still the same word, hafiz, hafaza. Allah said that his kursi, وَسِعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. And guarding the heavens and the earth, guarding you and me, protecting us, is nothing for Allah. وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. He is the most high. He is the greatest. Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, when he was in the cave with Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Abu Bakr at some point, not being a prophet, not being inspired by Allah as the Prophet ﷺ used to be inspired, he started to shiver a little bit when he saw that the soldiers were right at the gate of the cave. But what did Allah say? Is يَقُولُ لِصَاحِبِهِ لَا تَحْزَنْ إِنَّ اللَّهَ مَعَنَا. Surah Tawbah. Allah said to the Prophet ﷺ, he said to him, and the Prophet ﷺ, he said to Abu Bakr, لَا تَحْزَنْ. Do not fear, do not worry. We are in the cave, a small cave, and the enemies, the army from Abu Jahl, the army from Mecca, they're right here with swords and spears, with all type of weapons, ready to finish us today. This was when they were going on the hijrah, the migration. Only the two of them, Thani Ithnain, only the two of them, Abu Bakr and the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, with no weapons at all. An entire army. Brother, think about this. Let these words digest into your heart. That is why I said in the beginning, this hadith, as the words of Ibn Jawzi, he used to ponder upon, he used to reflect, he used to contemplate on this hadith until he would almost pass out. Ponder upon this. Let this digest. Only two of you and your brother, you are in a cave, you are in a room, and an entire army. I'm not talking about just one or two cops. The entire army is right there looking for you. And they want to finish you off. And you're shaking, you're shivering, you're scared to death. Some might even pee in their pants at that time. But the Prophet said to him, La tahzan. Do not worry, do not fear. Inna Allaha ma'ana. Subhanallah. That is enough. Do not worry about anything because Allah is with us. Brother, if you have Allah on your side, if you have Allah with you, ma'i Allah, Musa alayhi salam, again Musa and Musa and Musa in the Quran, his examples are illustrated so many times that many scholars have said it is almost as if the Quran was going to be the story of Musa with Fir'aun. When he was crossing the river, the army was chasing him, chasing Musa and Banu Israel, the followers, those who believed in him. When they came to the ocean, they said, Ya Musa, you promised us But look where you brought us today. We are in front of the ocean. There is nowhere to go. And there is the army right behind us. Inna la mudrakun. Inna la mudrakun. We are done. It is over. They started to lose hope. Musa said, In kalla, inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdin. Kalla. They say, Inna la mudrakun. We are done. We are over. Musa said, no, never. Inna ma'iya rabbi. Allah is with me. Subhanallah. When Allah is with you, you are confident. You don't feel anything. You should not even worry. Tomorrow, I don't know how to pay my bills. Tomorrow, I don't know how to pay my rent. Tomorrow, I don't. Inna ma'iya rabbi. Allah is with you. Why worry? He's Ar-Razaq. He's the provider. He's the giver. This person has threatened to kill me. Why should you shake? Why should you worry? If Allah wants to protect you, that person won't even wake up the next morning. That's how Allah will protect you. احفظ الله يحفظك. احفظ الله تجده تجاهك. So when Musa said, Inna ma'iya rabbi sayahdin, indeed, the ma'iyah of Allah, Allah is with me and He will guide me. And how did Allah guide him? By telling him to strike his staff on the ocean. It split in half and they crossed. That is how Allah is with you. That's how Allah shows you He's with you, and He will demonstrate He is with you until the end. And the ma'iyah of Allah, my brothers, I want you to know this thing. For Allah to really prove that His ma'iyah is haqq, that being with you is true, that He can protect you, He will wait and wait and wait until the last minute. Until the last minute, then He comes. If Allah were to come in the beginning of every problem, it wouldn't make sense. But He will wait and wait until you become desperate, until you start to lose hope, until you start to cry, until you start to weep, until you say, it is over. Inna la mudrakun. It is over. Then Allah, in His might, in His power, He will show you who He is. Allah will show you. Last minute. In the very, very last minute. The hour, 1 minute to the 60th minute, Allah will wait until the 60th minute to show you who He is. So put your trust in Allah. Trust Allah. Depend on Allah. When you say, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, believe that in your heart. Don't just say it. It's not just lip service. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in. But when a situation presents itself, you forget about Allah. What was your Iyaka na'budu? What is your Iyaka nasta'in? It was just lip service. So know this. وَعَلَمْ أَنَّ الْأُمَّةَ لو اجتمعوا على أن ينفعوك بشيء لم ينفعوك إلا بشيء قد كتبه الله لك. At the end, he said, رفعت الأقلام وجفت الصحف ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. إلا بإذن الله. He said at the end of the hadith, رفعت الأقلام, that the pens that write your destiny on Lawh al-Mahfuz, it was written 50,000 years before your creation. Your destiny was written down. Imam Ahmad, he said, إنما أول خلق الله القلم فقال له اكتب فقال ماذا أكتب. The first thing, the very first thing Allah created was the pen. And He ordered the pen to write. Uktub. The pen said, Mother Aktub, what should I write? Then Allah Azza wa Jalla ordered the pen to write the destiny of all things until the day of judgment. Until the day of judgment. No, my brother, after this salah, when you step out, the very first person you will shake hand with, Allah wrote it down 50,000 years before your creation. The dinner you will have tonight, you don't know. Allah wrote it down 50,000 years before your creation. And after everything was written down, then He said, رُفِعَتِ الْأَقْلَامِ وَجَفَّتِ الصُّحُفِ. The pen is lifted and the ink on the pages is dry. No change. It's dry. There's no eraser to remove it. It's been dried up. So when you know that, believe with yaqeen, believe with certainty that indeed ما أصاب من مصيبة إلا بإذن الله. No musibah, no calamity will befall me except by the permission of Allah. Except by the permission of Allah. If Allah said this good thing will come to you, this good will come to you, who can stop it? Nobody can stop it. It will come to you indeed. But if Allah said, I will test you with this, I will try you with this, no, there is nothing you can do that will come your way. Just thank Allah under all circumstances. We learn the example. Some of us will say we were born Muslims, we memorized the Quran, we have all this type of knowledge, but sometimes Allah will send a regular human being, somebody that if we saw him on the street, maybe we don't know this person is a alim, this person is a scholar, this person is rich, this person is that, but through those people, Allah will send them to teach us lessons. This brother is a lesson for us to return to Allah, put our trust in Allah. Say, my brother, my sister, if Allah had determined any type of risk for me, you cannot take it away from me. But sometimes some people are so mischievous, so evil. They think if I take this away from you, I will harm you. You can't harm me. You can't. You're not taking anything away from me. As a matter of fact, whatever you take away from me, it is good for me. It is good for me. Because if that had stayed from, I'll give you a very simple layman example. You can wake up in the morning, time to go to work, you want to start your car, it does not start. You might get upset. You run a few minutes late. And then what happens finally, when the car starts, you can get on the highway and realize that just 10 minutes before there was a fatal accident. And that could have been you. But Allah to save you, Allah to protect you, He made your car not start in the morning. So He could save you from that car accident. It could be a plane flight. How many times have you heard of plane crashes? Wallahi, plane crashes. People came to the airport with their luggages. They were 1 minute late. And they were there arguing with the person, I want to get on the plane. No, it's already closed. You can't get on it. And you're sitting there upset, angry. You go home and you hear that plane crashed. Allah saved you. He did not want you to be on that plane. You should be thankful. Should be grateful to Allah. He knows what He does. فَعَالٌ لِمَا يُرِيدُ. And He does whatever He wants. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله ولكم ولسائر المؤمنين ادعوا الله يغفر لكم ذنوبكم. الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ورضى اللهم عن ساداتنا أبي بكر وعمر وعثمان وعلي وعن صحابة أجمعين وعن التابعين وتابعين بإحسان إلى يوم الدين ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب عباد الله إن الله يأمر بالعدل والإحسان وإيتاء ذي القربى وينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر والبغي يعظكم لعلكم تذكرون قوموا إلى الصلاة يرحمني ويرحمكم الله. Oh, come. You ready?
الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح قد قامت الصلاة قد قامت الصلاة الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
قل لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم. استووا تراصوا واعتدلوا سووا صفوفكم ولا تختلفوا إن تسوة الصفوف من تمام الصلاة وسد الخلل. الله أكبر. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. ما كان محمد أبا أحد من رجالكم ولكن رسول الله وخاتم النبيين وكان الله بكل شيء عليما. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اذكروا الله ذكرا كثيرا وسبحوه بكرة وأصيلا هو الذي يصلي عليكم وملائكته ليخرجكم من الظلمات إلى النور وكان بالمؤمنين رحيما. الله أكبر. سبحان الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. الله أكبر. سبحان الله. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. الله أكبر. تحية. السلام عليكم. السلام عليكم. أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله. اللهم صل وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Assalamu alaikum. Brothers, I invite you to stand up, make Salatul Janazah al-Ghaib for our brother who was executed. Please stand up, make Janazah for him. Did you get his name? Do you remember the name of the brother? Wallace? Anybody knows his name? I forgot.
Give me 1 second.
Williams, yes. Yeah. His name was Brother Williams. Please make Salatul Janazah for him. May Allah forgive him. May Allah give him Jannah. 4 takbirat, inshallah. Allahu Akbar. Alhamdulillah. Allahu Akbar. Allahumma salli. Kama salli. الله أكبر. اللهم اغفر له وأكرم نزله. اللهم ابدله اللهم ادخله الجنة. اللهم ادخله الجنة. الله أكبر. اللهم اغفر للمسلمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Quick announcement, inshallah. One of our teachers, Brother Khalifa, lost his grandmother in Senegal. Her name was Aissatou Kande. We ask Allah to forgive her. Allahumma yaghfir laha warhamha وعافها واعف عنها وأكرم نزلها ووسع مدخلها واغسلها بالماء والثلج والبرد ونقها من الذنوب والخطايا كما ينقى الثوب الأبيض من الدنس. Also, my wife's uncle passed away this morning in Senegal. His name was Al-Haji Job. Job is the last name. We ask Allah to forgive him. اللهم اغفر له وارحمه وعافه واعف عنه وأكرم نزله ووسع مدخله